Hey everyone, welcome to some pre-show bonus footage of Sal and Benny, I'm Benny, talking about the Batman movie casting because we were looking up stuff and what the hell is going on?
That's how it feels.
This is our absolute comic show. Normally this is the pre-show. If these are interesting, we put them up on YouTube, and if they're not, well, they stay on pre-show. Anyway, okay, so right off the bat, Zoe Kravitz, I'm okay with that. Catwoman, fine. Like, Catwoman has been so all over the place. Like, Anne Hathaway sucked.
I kind of dug her as Catwoman. It's such a different
She wasn't
movie.
Catwoman.
I don't know. I liked her.
Catwoman.
I don't know. Well, she didn't wear the equivalent of a catsuit. She had like implied Nolan ears. You know, like, oh, it's not quite that, but it is. I don't know. I liked her kind of like her very like slinky, sultry, like I know what I'm doing before you do it kind of move.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it just wasn't enough. You know, they didn't take it that step further because, like, it felt like, I don't know, it felt like, yeah, I got to do a Batman movie, but I really just want to make one of my Dunkirk movies. And so, like, I get Batman has to be in costume, but, like, does everyone have to be in a freaking costume? Like, you know, how about we do one scene with Scarecrow in a costume, and then that's it?
I just didn't like her because I didn't feel like she was Catwoman.
Yeah.
I felt Halle Berry was more Catwoman than Anne Hathaway was Catwoman.
Well, I disagree with
Halle
that.
Berry was a horrendous Catwoman. I'm just saying.
Halle Berry was technically a Catwoman. I wouldn't call her Catwoman in the Bat world at all. That was something else.
I mean, Anne Hathaway as Selena Kyle, I thought was great.
Yeah.
As Catwoman was not good because she just wasn't Catwoman.
She didn't do anything as Catwoman that was in any way interesting. Also, no whip. You know,
there was nothing about her that was Catwoman. Selena Kyle, great. If we were doing a movie about Bruce Wayne and Selena Kyle, she would have been perfect for the role. But the fact that she, like, and my wife's a huge Catwoman fan, and she was like, that's not Catwoman. That's just Anne Hathaway. We just have Anne Hathaway in the movie.
I mean, that's her most of the time anyway, yeah.
So anyway, didn't like her. Halle Berry is atrocious. I do like how it was retconned that she is a Catwoman in an alternate universe. Like,
yeah, I'll take that.
We'll do that. It's over there. And then what's the? I can't think of the name of the actor. Michelle Pfeiffer.
Michelle Pfeiffer. Yeah.
Okay, that's the epitome of Catwoman to me.
She's
like,
certainly
slightly crazy, acts like Catwoman, a little off the
She's
rocker.
Burton's version of Catwoman, where it's like, oh, like, okay, Catwoman, get it. Okay, so like, there's cats, and they bite her, and now she can live like. What? I love, listen, I'm a sucker for that costume, and the older I get, the more I dig that version of Catwoman. As a kid, I remember being like, this is really weird and creepy, but the scene of her and him like dancing and them realizing who each other is, the scene of her fighting him and like digging her like weird sewing nail into his flesh, like there's a lot of cool stuff in that, and I think she's easily the best on-screen Catwoman we've ever had.
I do agree, and if we also throw in the Batman animated series, whoever played that voice of Catwoman, she was great.
Yes. Maybe that was Adrienne Barbeau. I don't recall. But
I'm not a huge fan of classic '66 Catwoman.
Well,
but
which
she
one?
does get
Eartha Kitt, Julie Newmar.
Well, I'll say she does. All of them get their credit for being the originals. Like you can't.
Yeah.
You got to give them the credit for what they did. So Zoe Kravitz, though, I've loved her in her other movies, so I'm excited to see what she can do as the Catwoman role.
Right.
So a lot of people would automatically assume that, well, Sal and Benny must hate the casting because of Zoe Kravitz because she's not a pale white woman playing Catwoman. No, I'm perfectly fine with that because Zoe Kravitz is a great actress, so this can totally work. The one that we both said, what the hell about, isn't Zoe Kravitz. It's Matthew McConaughey as Two-Face.
Yeah, what? I mean, listen, I love me some Matthew McConaughey, but like, first of all, okay,
I like Matthew McConaughey, but first off, he plays Matthew McConaughey. It's my same argument with Anne Hathaway. We aren't going to get a Harvey Dent. We're going to get Matthew McConaughey.
He's not going to disappear into the role. He's going to be Matthew McConaughey it's going to be Matthew McConaughey with a skin condition, which, you know, I might actually kind of be on board for it. I love seeing him. I think he has incredible chemistry with most of his actors he works with. I think he has a great on-screen presence. He's fun. He plays, he really likes to play with the character he's doing. But like Two-Face, I don't know. We'll see.
And this was apparently announced yesterday, and our chat just said Colin Farrell. Oh my God, it's true. Colin Farrell is in talks to play Penguin.
Okay. This is okay.
11 minutes ago. 11 minutes ago.
Okay, I gotta say, like, this feels, because, like, it's not official. It feels like a fan casting session. But, like, the first pass, where they're like, I need a young guy, he's got dark and brooding. I got it, the Twilight guy. Okay, we need a woman who's gonna be Catwoman, she's cool and sexy. I'm thinking the person who auditioned for the last time Catwoman was up for a role. Zoe Kravitz, got it. Two-Face, I want a cool white guy. Matthew McConaughey. How about Riddler? I'm thinking Jonah Hill. He said no. How about that wormy guy from There Will Be Blood? You mean Paul Dano? Yeah, him. Whatever. Commissioner Gordon. I was just watching Westworld the other day. How about that guy, Jeffrey Wright? How about him? Like, stop. What?
Well, the thing with this, I'm tweeting this right now. You got me to give Robert Pattinson a shot, and then you just keep throwing the most off-the-wall castings for these villains that I've ever seen.
Well, but they're not. You know, what's funny is they're not, like, they're off the wall. Like, I wouldn't immediately assume that Matthew McConaughey could be Harvey Dent. But they're also not, like, out there suggestions. These are like the most studio suggestions I've ever seen, where they're like, I want to see, like a Matthew McConaughey type. How about, I'm thinking Matthew McConaughey, and we need somebody who's going to be like, kind of like a slimy, kind of like Paul Dano type character. I'm thinking Paul Dano. Like, not one-to-one. Like, I don't know. It feels like there must be, I guarantee you, there's a YouTube video somewhere of a fan casting session in which all of these guys and gals are these respective roles.
I could totally see that, yeah.
I don't know where these are coming from.
I think that's what blows my mind. Where are these coming from? Who did, what is going on?
Yeah.
All right, well, okay, so Matthew McConaughey, Paul Dano, no one even knows who the hell he is. Jeffrey Wright as Commissioner Gordon. All right, I like Jeffrey Wright. We can make that work.
Right.
I'm on board with that.
No, I dig him. It's just kind of
Paul Dano, I'll even take as Riddler because he's obscure. I don't really know what he does. He's a tall, lanky kind of guy. He could fill the Riddler role.
Absolutely. No, I really do believe that. He would be great.
But I don't know. Colin Farrell is Penguin? Why?
It feels like a weird fan casting session. I don't know. And yeah. I don't know. My question is, the only question I have is, because it's a Warner Brothers picture, who's John Glover going to play? Because John Glover is in, like, every Warner Brothers production. He was Daniel Clamp in Gremlins 2. He played the Riddler in the animated series. He was the father of Savannah in Shazam. He was the doctor who kills Pamela Isley in Batman and Robin. Like, so what is this fun character actor going to play in this Batman movie? because Warner Brothers can't get rid of this guy. He's also amazing, and I love him, and I'll watch him in anything. But, like...
Right. No, and I agree with you on that. I don't know. This movie, I'm losing more and more faith. First off, I'm losing more and more faith the more villains that get cast into this.
Well, it's like, are you doing an Arkham Asylum, a Serious House and Serious Earth movie? Are you doing Hush? Is it another...
Is this supposed to be like a detective noir movie?
That's what they said. They were like, we want it to feel like Sherlock Holmes. So that says to me, hopefully a smarter Hush or a more faithful adaptation of The Long Halloween. Because Dark Knight is practically like a very loose adaptation of Long Halloween.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
But
yeah, here's the latest one. I haven't found any confirmation on this one. Andy Serkis, we were looking this up ahead of time, as Alfred. That doesn't even work.
For me, that's like... That is just Hollywood wholly drinking the Kool-Aid when it comes to these people. Like, I appreciate Andy Serkis's talent. I think he's great. He has this amazing ability to disappear into a role. He can play an animal, mineral, vegetable, whatever. But, like, if you need
there is no confirmation on this. I'm finding zero on Andy Serkis and Batman. Just a heads up.
I'm sure all of these will be wrong, and our video will be like, pair of idiots.
Well, what? Oh, no, 32 minutes ago, Andy Serkis in talks to play Alfred Pennyworth and Matt Reeves the Batman.
Ah! Why? But, like, no, not like, if you want to get somebody who's just off the wall, like if it was Mad Hatter, I'd be like, right on, yeah, Mad Hatter, Andy Serkis, that makes perfect sense to me. Alfred, come on. Like,
okay, hold on. I will retract my statement that Andy Serkis should not be Alfred. I will say, Google Andy Serkis Batman, Sal.
Yeah.
And look what Andy Serkis looks like now that he is getting older and with a
Oh
full
no,
gray beard.
I did that when we were talking, and I'm like, he looks like a goblin. I mean, like, Alfred should look like a put together, stoic, former British secret intelligence kind of guy. Or if you're going by Batman Earth 1, he should look like Sam Elliott. But
maybe, and here's my theory based upon our Twitch chat just saying it, so many big names. What if that is what they're doing?
Yeah.
What if they're like, okay, look, you're WB, you're sitting around, you're like, all right, DCEU tanked.
Right.
Like, it doesn't matter if those movies were successful, they should have been blockbuster, like huge $1 billion. They never did. Okay.
Yeah. Batman vs Superman should have made $1 billion. Right.
No question. As far as WB is concerned, they tanked.
Yes.
So they got rid of the DCEU as far as we know. The last movie that was clearly in the DCEU was Aquaman.
Shazam.
And that's was it officially though, or was it like just referencing it?
The Batarang that they had, that was Ben Affleck's Batarang and Henry Cavill's Superman suit at the end. That was...
Okay, yeah, that's true, yeah. Okay, well then what, either way, even with that, we're not really doing DCEU anymore.
Shazam didn't do well, so they're not going to try and like ape off of that. So yeah.
I thought it did well.
It did well enough. It didn't do the numbers they were hoping.
It did better than it was supposed to, but not like what they would want it to do, is what I think.
Okay, that's fair. I would take that.
So anyway, you're at a point now where Joker broke $1 billion.
Right, Joker, by himself.
Joker broke $1 billion. Wonder Woman was considered the most successful female superhero movie ever.
Yeah.
What was the other? Aquaman did amazingly well, and you basically pretty much recreated Lord of the Rings, and now you got Andy Serkis, so why not?
Right? Yeah. Who's Elijah Wood going to play?
What if they were like, hey, we had 4 critically acclaimed movies in a row. We need people to have faith in the Batman again, because Ben Affleck's Batman is associated with the Justice League.
Right.
So what if we get as many big name actors as we can possibly get?
Right.
So that no matter what, you're going to go see this Batman movie.
Yeah. So that no matter what, someone will have to be recast. Because like that's what you're doing. You're part of the reason why the MCU started out so well is because like they got hungry directors who are not going to quit, and they got actors who either needed help or who were undiscovered, and then they killed their villains because who cares? With this, it's like I'm going to cast like Tom Cruise and like just literally every biggest name you could possibly imagine under the sun.
Remember what happened when they tried to cast Edward Norton as the Hulk?
Right. He literally, and Edward Norton's a special case because he tries to rewrite every movie he's in. He fancies himself a Hollywood scriptwriter. So like, you were playing with fire already getting Edward Norton. But you're right, like getting the biggest people isn't always the best solution. That being said, I think it's not so much they're thinking about the next movie, but they're thinking about making $1 billion right now. And it's like, listen, Batman has the most recognizable rogues gallery in comics, just easily. You could argue there are others, but Batman has the number one. So why don't we just put them all in? Clearly, I can imagine Warner Brothers. Okay, you jackasses all seem to like supervillains. Well, here they all are, and they're all going to fight Batman. You're like, right? Like, if we see Scarface and Poison Ivy, then you will know they're just throwing the kitchen sink at this thing.
Yeah. I think they're doing that. I think they're literally throwing the kitchen. I think they're going at the philosophy of we make a great solo Batman movie. Who cares who comes back?
Right.
I think that's what they're aiming for. I think they're trying, from a company standpoint, they're going, we need to bring back faith in the name Batman as a movie property.
Right.
If you link this up with recent things that happened, DC Black Label, where they were like, oh, don't show Batman's penis. We need to have good faith in Batman. This may fall in line with that. They just want you to have good faith in Batman.
Right.
And let's just throw in every big name actor that is willing to sign up for this project.
Yep.
So you have good faith in Batman.
Yeah,
and then
this could
once Batman does well, we can revisit the concept of a DCEU.
Yeah. I would bet money that none of these people are under multi-picture contracts.
Oh yeah. Which is probably how they got a lot of them to sign on.
Exactly. They're like, yeah, I'll play Two-Face for a scene where Batman is walking down a corridor and he passes each actor in their costume to get to Hush. nobody
Yeah.
in bandages. You know, like, I could see that being their way of being like, oh, look at how much cool shit's coming up for Batman. And then they're like, yeah. Listen, it's going to take 3 years to make the next Batman movie. It's only going to have one villain in it anyway. You know, maybe we can convince one of these actors, and we'll just go down the line. Biggest actor to smallest actor. Hey, you want to be in the next one? Hey, you want to be in the next one? Hey, you want to be in the next one?
Well,
and, you know,
I think they're all going to be real villains because people are it's being touted as the trio of villains.
right.
So Two-Face, Riddler, and Penguin.
And Catwoman.
So maybe they're all working together. Well, is she a villain? I don't think they're kind of here as a villain.
Here's the thing. We don't think so, but I think Warner Brothers considers her one. Like, I think Warner Brothers is like, they're all, comic books, whatever, superhero, supervillain. Catwoman's in the supervillain.
I don't know, because Anne Hathaway wasn't a villain, like a clear villain.
Yeah, that's true.
Anne Hathaway was Anne Hathaway.
Yeah,
she wasn't bad.
But you argued she's not even Catwoman. Like,
well, she wasn't, true, but...
well, I mean, and this is actually, it's funny. I was just thinking about this. You mentioned we argue that Shazam is the last DCEU movie. Birds of Prey is the last DCEU movie.
Okay, so I don't think, and we'll have to close the discussion very soon so we can get to the actual main show.
Yeah.
But I don't think that everyone's like DCEU is gone. They never actually said
No.
the DCEU is gone. They said that they're just going to focus on movies that aren't linked to the DCEU.
Right.
And they're calling it the expanded worlds of DC or whatever they're calling it.
Right, whatever,
so
yeah.
I think technically the DCEU is continuing until they get its footing back and they're like, okay, now we can. I am calling it. In 5 years, we're going to get another Justice League.
Oh, yeah. And we'll have Jason Momoa in it and Gal Gadot. Like, yeah.
Yeah. We'll have Robert Pattinson will be there.
And Robert Pattinson will be like a lot more appropriately flirting with Wonder Woman. Yeah, I think.
Exactly. I think that's the direction they're going. They're just quietly moving in the direction they should have gone.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they're like, if we announce that we're kind of retooling how we're doing the DCEU, we're just going to get shit and we're going to be called ripoffs of the MCU.
Yeah, and they're going to be
But if we
looking
just
at
kind
it.
of go quiet, we go quiet about it. We do one movie at a time.
Right.
We see how they perform. Just like if you technically look into it, Flash was supposed to come out. It's supposed to start filming. It's not, It hasn't. But here's the thing. You would assume that everything would be dead, but the director and Ezra Miller are both like, no, we're still in.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Well,
we're still here.
Do
We're still doing it.
Yeah. No, they're not going to. You're not going to get that Flash movie. I'm sorry. But it's true in terms of there's no official word. Like, the studio hasn't told them, go find another project. They're just kind of
exactly. And that's what I mean. I feel like we're still getting the DC, but instead of tackling 20 movies at a time and then wondering why they're not succeeding, because the core problem with the DCEU back in the day, regardless of your opinions on Zack Snyder's treatment and what he did with it, whatever, is Zack Snyder, regardless of you liking it or not, is a divisive director when it comes to the DC properties.
Yeah.
Okay? People loved it, but people hated it. And I think the problem that WB realized is you have a director who is very clearly divisive between the concepts of what DC is, what DC is, and what he wants it to be.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I like some of the stuff he did. I'm not even denying that. But
right.
So, but here's the problem: you have divided your audience between pro Zack Snyder and against Zack Snyder, and you have Zack Snyder overseeing every DC movie, and you agreed to this before seeing if it was going to work.
Right. That's true, because then, as a result, the audience can't pick and choose their movies. They're going to go, well, I know what the direction's going to be, and I know what the tone's going to be, so I've already said no to the first two, so I'm not going to continue to see the rest of them.
And I think that's what WB's looking at. They're like, well, that didn't work. Right. Having our Kevin Feige be Zack Snyder was a terrible idea because Kevin Feige doesn't divide the audiences. Kevin Feige, he tries to appeal to the mass.
Yes.
And Zack Snyder's like, here's my vision. On board or not, I'm doing it.
Exactly. Yeah, which is admirable in his own right. Like, it's like, right on. Like, you can't mince words when it came to, like, what his opinion of these characters and their directions is. So, right on. Like, I'm not going to argue with that.
Right. So, I wonder if that's the approach WB's going. They're like, DCU's not dead, but we need a better plan.
Right.
And the plan right now is solo Joker, but Shazam will kind of be in it.
Yeah, no,
And
I think that's
We'll
it.
kind of have that 1984 movie's going to be in it, and Birds of Prey are going to kind of be in it. And the Batman, we'll try like a solo Batman film, and if you like it, we're going to reference it in the next DCEU movie.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, you know who's not in it? Like Superman, Wonder Woman. Like it's literally Batman is recast, so he's not going to reference like going to Russia and fighting red-skied Steppenwolf. Like he's just gonna. I'm amazed.
Well, it's a prequel, so
Yeah. Oh, is it?
It's
Is
a
it
prequel to
officially
every
a prequel?
Oh yeah, no, yeah, it's supposed to be like part of his first couple of years.
Just don't call it a prequel. Just be like, it's Batman. He's just started. That's it. Like,
Well, they're probably going to do that. I could see the opening being something 1980 something.
oh yeah.
You know, and they just play off of that concept.
You're totally right because they love to ape off of things that worked. So for them, they're like, Joker was a period piece. Everyone liked it. You like period pieces. Okay, here you go. And it's like, whoa, maybe we don't need to shove Matthew McConaughey into old age makeup for when we move forward with these movies. Like, but yeah.
Or what if they're like 1990 something, and in the Batman movie, there's a slight reference to the riots that happened in the 80s. You know,
I'm fully expecting Joker to be a canon after this. I wholly
with how
expect
successful it is.
Yeah.
I could totally see that. But it'll be nods because that's what we want. We don't want them to be like, oh, the Joker's canon. We want them to be like, there was a riot in 1984, and all of us to go, oh, is it Joker? Is Joker the riot from 1984?
Exactly. We're not expecting Joaquin Phoenix to show up and fight Robert Pattinson.
Dude, that would be the worst thing ever.
It'd be very weird. I would not be okay.
Because you get Joaquin Phoenix's Joker showing up to fight Robert Pattinson's Batman.
He'd have to wear old age makeup. He'd be like 55, 60 or whatever. I don't know.
It wouldn't work. It just wouldn't. No, it just wouldn't work.
No.
All right, well, let's close out this pre-show. Take a little breather. So if you guys are enjoying this on YouTube, thank you so much. Don't forget to join the pre-show by coming to our live recordings of this every Tuesday. About, I'd say, 4:30 Eastern, the pre-show starts. 5 o'clock we start with the main show. So today's pre-show was us discussing the Batman castings that are happening as we speak.
In real time.
In real time. Thank you, guys. And stick around for the main show.